the fucking shit.
Done the shit. Done the shit. Looks good.
Yeah, I'm a tech nerd at heart.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, Amazon is my my vice.
I love that. I love
No, my bank account doesn't like it.
No. I know, but you've got to have a vice. If you haven't, if it's a good one,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah. Welcome to the podcast, Simon.
Thank you, mate. Thank you for inviting me.
Now, you're a motorbike rider.
I am a motorbike rider.
If I recall, it's a Triumph.
Triumph Bonneville.
Bonneville.
Yeah.
How long have you been riding?
So it started with a obsession with Vespers. So years ago, when I was living up at Montmorency, and just wanted to get a bike.
Yeah.
And this is from living in Europe, and living in Spain and getting around on the bikes. Wanted to get a bike, so I thought, get my bike license, get a Vespa, and it was the best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
You know, when I'd ride down to St Kilda, and it was like a 45-minute ride from then, and you know, Vespas don't go fast.
Yeah, no.
So I'm puttering along on the Eastern.
65.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Was it red?
Yeah, oh well, no, what, the bike?
The bike.
The bike was white.
White? Oh, fuck.
The bike was white. And, you know, scooting around down Punt Road, down to St Kilda, it was fun. It was great fun.
Yeah.
And it's funny, at that time, I didn't see a lot of Vespas around.
Yeah.
And so I would pull up outside the vineyard with all these big muscle bikes. And people would go, sick bike. Like they would love it.
Hang on. The vineyard. Like, were you a regular there?
I wouldn't say regular. I've had a few Sundays there.
Yeah.
Had a few Sundays
Yeah,
there.
the Sundays were good there.
Did we miss each other?
Probably.
No, the Sundays were good there. Sundays were good. Normally off the back of a Saturday, Sundays were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some friends down from Sydney who used to live, that they moved down here just to earn some money for construction.
Yeah.
And so they had this place in Richmond, and they called it. It was like 1-400 Church Street.
Yeah.
So the tag was, we're going to 1/400. So that was like a club name, really. But that's where everyone used to have parties. We skip parties and we used to reconvene. So at that point in time, they were going out a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and I would just dip in every now and again. And
Yeah. On your Vespa.
On my Vespa. And we would get down to the vineyard. And yeah, good days. Good days.
Now, the accent.
Mm-hmm. Is it still there?
Yeah, your accent's still there.
You know, if I go back to England, they say I'm full Australian.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
What part of England?
Southampton.
Right.
Been?
My mum lives in Bournemouth.
Right next to Southampton.
Yeah.
Do you go visiting much?
I saw her last year.
Right.
But
we need to do a trip.
we probably need to do a trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rent some Vespers there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. How about renting some Triumphs?
We could rent some Triumphs. Yeah. The mate of mine who bought my bike wreckage sent me it's his birthday today, actually. Happy birthday, Mark. Sent me a photo of the bike with all the fairings and stuff back on.
Mm.
And he's changed the colour. I do approve because it was all black.
Right.
And it's got white and red through it now.
Right.
And I was like, fuck.
And what's the bike?
A Yamaha R1.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So when you getting that back?
Never.
Never. Right. Okay.
He's turned it into a track bike.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, often I go around there and, you know, I think he just wants to try to rekindle my love for bikes and starts it up.
Yeah. Has it gone? Like the love?
No, it hasn't gone.
Yeah.
But you got to be smart.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm not. Obviously, I'm not. But it's it's very freeing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get out on the bike and like I just forget everything, and I just love riding down to St Kilda
Yeah.
and I'm down on the peninsula, down at Seaford, so it's great riding down there. And yeah, so I've found this new love for bikes.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
And the Triumph is a great bike as well.
Because it's a 500 or 600?
1200.
Oh, 1200. It's a beast.
It's a beast. It's
Be
surprising.
fucking 200 kilos.
Well, and it's surprising. Well, I dropped it when I first got it as well. Oh, I know. Embarrassing. I shouldn't be saying this, should I? No.
I'd just informing you now, I don't do any editing.
Good. We want authenticity, remember? So I was. It's so embarrassing. So I took it down the Pean Highway.
Yeah.
And stopped because I was getting used to the bike. And I pulled in next to the curb, and I underestimated the drop off of the curb. So I pulled in, and it just went. Me trying to get that up would have been a sight, like, because it was like I just got the bike.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get it up.
You're obviously just like, getting used to the weight distribution and like how far your feet go to the ground.
Literally. So I snapped the pedal off it, like first ride.
Wow.
I know. That's what happens when you go from a Vespa to a Triumph T120.
Yeah. Did you test ride it first?
I did, but it was only just like really slowly. But it was just, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is a bad idea buying this bike. And the thoughts through my head at that moment was, I'm going to be getting rid of this in a week. And
what did they say at the dealership when you were like,
they laughed.
I need another kickstand?
Yeah, they laughed. It was funny. It was good. Well, you got to laugh at these things, huh?
Yeah.
So I got it up eventually. Rode off into the sunset, and I've never looked back since. It's great.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I love it. I haven't dropped it again.
Touch wood.
Yeah. Pedal's still on.
So you still have the Vespa or not?
I don't have the Vespa. Like that went many years ago. However, when I was buying the bike, I just down at Peter Stevens in Dandenong, and I saw the Vespas there. They've got the old style Vespas there, which are just fantastic. So I've got this thing in my head now that I want to buy one. I want to buy one as well.
Well, if you do, I know someone who's a good photographer that can take some photos.
Yeah, well, let's do that. Well, let's do it on the Bonneville as well. Let's do the Bonneville as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bonnie is just a beautiful bike to photograph.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's do it.
Are you like a car guy that doesn't like people touching their cars?
I'm so not a car guy.
So you allow people to touch your bike?
Yeah, I do, because I'm okay with it. And when people say, "Oh, I ride," they go, "Do you want to?" I go, "Get on it, have a go."
Yeah,
it's a bike.
Yeah,
it's a bike. It's not a human. Get on it.
Yeah,
ride it.
Don't be so precious.
Yeah, exactly.
I do get it though. Like I get the whole like people like collect things, and then there's like that sentimental value. Well, not even sentimental value. It's just like this kind of like ego trip that, like I own that now. Like nobody can like touch it or take it away. But like, bro, when you die, you ain't taking nothing.
Well, mate, you know what? And I'm sure we're going to get onto this, but you know what? And this isn't something that has been recent. I mean, I'm just like, mate, enjoy. Go for it. I've never been selfish with my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've just like, it's there to be enjoyed. Enjoy. People want to jump on my decks. Go for it. Oh, I don't want to break them. Mate, you break them. Don't worry about it. Just go and enjoy. Me watching you enjoy it is worth more than the actual thing. So
yeah, that's cool. That's such a good mindset to have.
Yeah. Well, I love my things. Spent decent money on them, but I'm not attached to them, mate.
Mm.
I'm not attached to them. Seeing someone else enjoying it is much more valuable to me.
Mm.
Yeah.
So okay, so now I get the connection. You're a DJ.
Yes. Tion. Well, not we. In actual fact, we.
Oh, you're not a DJ.
No, well,
Pseudo DJ alert.
I'm gonna say no. Yeah. I'm gonna say no. I'm not a DJ at all.
You're a VJ.
I've got the equipment.
Ah.
I've got the equipment. No. I met Tion at 161 downstairs, and we just got talking. And,
Yeah.
And then I found out he was a very, very, very good DJ.
Yeah.
Yes. And we've been very, very close friends ever since.
Yeah.
Got a lot of time for Tion.
Yeah.
As you know, just
Yeah.
a cracking guy.
I saw him today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm not a DJ. I like DJing,
Yeah.
and I love doing parties for friends, like
Yeah.
private things. I love that. I've got a lot of vinyl as well.
Mm. You sound like you've got a lot of vinyl.
So
You got the accent.
I've been DJing for a while,
Yeah.
but it's never been something I've been really serious about.
Right.
Okay, it was more of a passion that I like to do, and I like that little intimate party environment. Yeah, love that. Love that. And there's nothing better than putting vinyl on at home when you're on your own. I do that often. Yeah, just put some vinyl, and because you forget about these things, you forget what you've got when you've got.
It's a different sound.
Much different sound, and feeling the vinyl underneath your fingers is so different.
What do you mean by that?
Well, okay, so digitally now you've got these CD DJs, and it's just like a platter. Okay, it's a platter, and it's you can put them on vinyl mode to make it feel like vinyl, but it's all digital, and you can sync, and you can do all these things electronically, on those things. With vinyl on a deck, you actually have to put it in with your fingers. Yeah, if you know what I mean, you've got to feel the vinyl. You've got to feel where it is. You've got to feel where the cue point is. It just feels authentic. It's great. It really is. I'll have to show you one day. You have to come around. Yeah,
I became.
You'll know what I mean when you do it. It's very different.
The way you describe that, I kind of can understand like what you mean by it. Because it is more an analog medium.
Yeah.
And it's very textile, with your hands. And I guess with all the electronic digital stuff that you can do electronically, like they came up with those electronic features or methods by understanding the analog technique.
Of course, yeah.
And then,
Of course. And, there's the whole process of the vinyl was, when I first moved out here, there's a place called Alley Tunes in Richmond.
Right.
Or Richmond? In Hawthorne. I used to go and sit in there for hours and just go through vinyl, go through record upon record upon record. And there was another shop down in Greville Street. And you sit, and the enjoyment of finding a track, seeing a record and playing it, and then taking it back. And back in those days, they cost you $20 each. So you'd come out with 5 records. Now you're spending $100 and coming out with
one.
No. Now if you do it digitally, this is the difference. Yeah, I can go to my computer and buy a load of tracks. Yeah, for $20. Back then, you could only buy one piece of vinyl for one. Yeah, and so it's very different. But that whole enjoyment of going and finding the vinyl and listening to it, and it's just a very different experience.
So, how do you feel about what's happened digitally with music then?
I think everything happens as it's supposed to, as it's meant to. Yeah.
We get deep here.
Yep. Everything happens as it's meant to. I think it's just progression, isn't it? I mean, we're sat here, talking through mics and you're posting it. Yeah.
But I got vinyl behind you.
Yeah, I know. Let's fire up. But no. I love it. I love it because it's and people will say, "Oh, look, there's a lot of DJs that won't be DJs if it was still vinyl."
Yeah.
But that's a good thing. We want more people playing music, and we want more people playing music. We want more people getting into this scene and getting into just loving music. There's nothing wrong with that. And if there is a medium to improve that, well, why not? Absolutely.
It's the exact same thing that I say with photography and photographers. Like, if you think you can do a better job, I will teach you everything that I know. I want to see you do better than me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because it's all about perspective and it's all about, oh, shit, I didn't realize that. Oh, this, oh, that, like, wow, it's like pushing that creativity like to another baseline,
Yeah.
and like push it higher so that people can appreciate art more, and all of that, So it is a weird thing because people are always like, there's always this like argument around, not only like camera brands, but like analog versus digital, and then of course you've got like these bastards here that have like cameras on them, and like there's that saying, what's the best camera? What's the one that you got on you?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
If it's your phone, then it's your phone.
Yeah.
Take the photo. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And like if it's not the latest iPhone or the latest Samsung, that's cool. It's all about creativity.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
A mate of mine in Perth, he did a shoot. He did a number of shoots, and then he was like, "Oh, I think I need to upgrade, like my camera," because he had sold his latest, and then he had to downgrade. But then he's like, "Oh, I need to upgrade again." I was like, he showed me some photos, and I said, "No, it's cool, man. Like the whole grainy thing look, like that's a style." "Oh, no, I don't like it. No, I don't like it." I'm like, okay, well, that's your perspective. But, like, someone's going to like it.
That's right. And that's what it's all about, perspective, isn't it? And and I think people put too much pressure on themselves. Like, I've got a few friends. I do a lot of yoga, and we've got a couple of people at the yoga group that want to start DJing, and we go to the yoga retreats.
I never thought you were a yoga guy.
Oh, I love my yoga. Well, I can't do it. I haven't been doing it for 3 months, and we know why.
Yeah.
We'll get onto that, I'm sure. They get there. We go to these retreats, and they want to DJ.
Yeah.
They want to do, and they're new DJs, and they're planning these things, and they're like, and I'm
being meticulous.
Oh no, I've planned this set, and I go, and they're really, really worried. I go, listen. Don't worry about it. I said, you're not in a club with 1,000 people. Okay, and if you were, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Who cares? It's if you muck them, if you fuck a mix up, you fuck the mix up. Who cares? People that will vilify you for that, they're not the people you want to be around anyway. Don't worry about it. Fuck them. Yeah, I said, mess up. I said, that's great. And laugh about it. Don't. I said, if you're going with so much angst about, oh, I'm going to fuck up, you're going to fuck up. Yeah. Just go and enjoy. Enjoy.
It's almost like you reach a certain level of not giving a fucks, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard for people to like see that because they just want everything to be perfect because everything seems perfect.
Yeah. And, they see me playing at these events and they don't realise I'm a shit DJ. Yeah. and I know that, and I'm happily
got the exclusive
Yeah,
now.
exactly, and happily, you know,
If you
it's,
want to see a shit DJ, go
it's
to one
me.
of Simon's
Yep.
things.
Yep, DJ Shit.
I'll be there.
Actually, it's there.
DJ Shit.
That's it. That's the new name. Shit DJ. So actually, me and my friend used to DJ quite a lot at some events, and I said to him, we should call ourselves Two Shit DJs. You know?
Well, the negative hook online gets more traction than the positive hook.
Well, that's exactly. There's a guy called Eats Everything. Yeah, fucking brilliant. And I went, what a brilliant DJ name. What a brilliant DJ. But
he's a DJ.
He's a well-renowned international DJ. Yeah,
and his name is
Eats Everything. Yeah, brilliant. How awesome is that? Yeah, it's my favourite DJ name. But you know what I'm saying to these guys, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Fucking worry about it. It's just music.
Everyone fucks up.
Everyone fucks up. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful, you know, and it's good that you surround yourself with people that encourage you to do that and allow you to fuck up, allow you to be vulnerable. You know, that's so powerful. And people don't understand that nowadays. They just want everything perfect, and they're so worried about, and it's ego. It's ego, and we've all been there. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not one of those people that are trying to say that I haven't been there. I've definitely been there.
Yeah, it pops up every now and then.
Every now and again, yeah. But you know, I'm just saying, as I get older, I'm like, fucking hell, just let it go.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that stuff, you know. And it's nice to give that to people when you're older. It really is. It's probably the thing I value most now. Yeah, just being able to say to people, hey, fucking don't worry about it. No big deal. Don't stress. Don't worry about. Don't listen to that person. Don't, you know, just you do you.
Yeah. There comes a level of confidence that's required to be comfortable with failure, and then it's what you do with that. So, whenever I fuck up or I do something wrong, I just make a joke out of it and laugh about it.
So powerful.
Yeah, because I'm like, I'm so funny how I just did that.
Yeah.
Like, and I'll verbalize it, right?
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, he's actually a real person.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, no shit.
That's right.
I'm a real person.
Yeah.
I got like,
who did you think I was?
Yeah. You know, and yeah, it's so it's funny how some people are like, and I get it because they see stuff online and everything's kind of like curated and like all this type of stuff, and they don't want to miss the opportunities and all this. But like personally, I think the growth and the reward that you get in going through the journey of making the mistakes makes the wins that you have even better.
Absolutely.
It's not getting the win after 3 days. It's getting the win consistently after 10 years.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly. And you know, I've been, you know, I follow your posts quite a lot, and there's a lot of that. And it's so true. It's so right. You know, it took me 50 years, to realize that, you know, your ego rules your life.
Yeah,
your ego, and to start letting things go, you know, and it's just changed my life. Just letting things go, not being so judgmental. Yeah, that's a massive one. Like being judgmental and you know, giving people space to be who they are, even if you don't agree. It's taught me to just sit back and just listen. You know? And it's helped my growth.
But Simon, it's so hard just to sit back and listen. I got all these things going on. I just want to get things done. What do I do?
Yeah.
I'm getting anxiety, Simon. DJ shit, I'm getting anxiety.
Don't get anxiety. Let's go for a walk. Take the mics. And that's it, mate.
Look, I still get anxiety sometimes.
We all get anxiety.
Not often now because I'm like, whatever.
Can I tell you my anxiety story?
Yeah, go.
Yes, I used to get anxiety about everything, about relationships, about work, about all of these things that we let affect us. And this past year, I've said to myself, anxiety is good. Anxiety is me working on the issue. Yeah, anxiety. When I feel that anxiety, that I say, I'm working on it. I'm working on this issue that I've got. It's me. I'm not looking at it negatively anymore. I'm looking at it positively. So anxiety to me is a positive thing now. I use it as a positive thing.
I think it's the same biological like processes as excitement. So people will not be able to. Some people can't comprehend the difference between the two. So then it's like, am I anxious or am I excited? You know, like, am I nervous or am I excited? You know, and it's like, but what you said just then is acknowledging it in your mind that when you feel like that, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's that positive reinforcement.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love that.
And using it and saying, I'm actually working. That's me working on whatever issue it is. I'm grateful for it. Grateful for the anxiety. And I actually mean it. It's not that,
That needs to be on a
lip service.
T-shirt.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm grateful for my anxiety.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
How long you been doing yoga?
So I found yoga about a year ago. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I have been doing yoga on and off, but consistently about a year ago. This was me in one of my downward spirals.
What was her name? That invited you to the yoga class.
161 was her name.
Shit.
Yeah. And it was, I just walked out of there one Sunday. And I'd actually seen a friend of mine from 161, you probably know, I saw on her story that she liked this group.
Right.
Who are an amazing group that do yoga down in St Kilda.
Yeah.
And I walked out of 161 one morning and went, I'm going to that. It started at 9:30 on a Sunday. I went home, I got changed, I went down like didn't know anyone. Walked in, I'd contacted this girl before who runs it, who's just an amazing person. You really should talk to her as well. She's just a fantastic human. Who runs this yoga community, who started down on St Kilda Beach. So I just walked down there one day, complete out of my comfort zone. Fuck it, I'm going.
I love that.
And I sat at home going, I don't want to go. Then I just went, go. Walked in, and I've made some of the closest, most authentic, beautiful friends that I've ever had to this day, and we're still meeting people, and they're very transient. Yeah, the people there, because it's St Kilda.
Yeah,
they're from all over different countries, so I've meeting people from different countries.
Yeah,
just beautiful, great people, and it really changed my life. It really did. So I left. At the time, I was actually DJing on Chapel Street in a bar called the Bayou every Saturday, and I kind of went, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be going out till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning anymore. Just didn't want to do it anymore. And I found yoga, and yoga changed it for me. It really did. Now, I still do go out, but I do it very differently now. Yeah. It's very different. It's a very different landscape.
Yeah. Have you tried Bikram yoga?
Which is the hot yoga.
That's the hot yoga.
Yes, I do have. It's I actually do that as well.
Oh, as well. Oh, shit.
Yeah. We do that when I get back into it. I'll be doing it, but I do it down in Frankston where, at my gym. So they do all of that there.
Yeah.
Pilates. I do reformer Pilates. It's great,
mate.
It's great. Yeah. No, it's
I
great.
used to do Bikram just around the corner here at
Yep.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
And I did it for like 6 months. Mate, it was so hard to start off with. But, like, just get so good at it.
Yeah. And mentally,
Oh.
the mental aspect of it is just so, you don't understand. I mean, that being in that environment is a tough. Well, if anyone who's been in a sauna knows what that's like for 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
To do it for 90 and stretch.
Yeah. Like yoga's hard already, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 So,
what were you doing for work? Like, what do you do for work?
So I've got a fire protection business.
Oh.
Yeah. So I've got a fire protection business that I started that in 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's evolved. I've sold one business and started another one, and we're coming to what is it now? I started that one in 2018, so we're coming up to 8 years now.
Yeah, right.
Doesn't really do anything for me now, as in like it doesn't like fill my cup at all. It's just really
more like corporate buildings and stuff like that.
Yeah. We do commercial.
So servicing,
maintenance, and new installs. Yeah, so we do the whole thing. But mate,
it's required. It's a compliance thing.
Absolutely, yeah. And this is the good thing about it, because it's recession proof. Yeah.
Fuck you.
It's absolutely recession proof. So when COVID happened, we kept going.
Yeah.
Like service industry, we kept going. We were so lucky. So, so it served its purpose.
Yeah. But it doesn't fill your cup.
It just not like now. I'm looking for something else, as in I want to help people. It's, do you know? I want to.
You don't want to save them from fires?
No, but the percentages aren't there. We don't have enough fires. Not enough.
No, we don't have enough fires.
If that was more prevalent, then maybe I would. I'd go, look, I'm really helping people here. Right?
I mean, like,
no,
What do you want to do?
I just want to. Now, look, I did a breathwork course and thought that's what I want to do. I wanted to go to yoga. I want to go to India and do yoga and such. And like in the last month, it's really become apparent to me that I don't want to teach them. I just want to enjoy them. Yeah.
Right. You need to find a passion.
I don't want to. I want to enjoy them. So I said to you, I started this podcast last year, and it was all about trauma. Yeah. It's just about trauma, and I did 2 episodes, and like I need to get back into it, but my consistency and my mindset and everything, I really do need to start it again. Actually, I went to see a tarot reader the other day. She said, "You've got to start doing this. This is where you're going to help people," and that's where my passion is. So I said to myself, what do I do that I'm really happy? And it's also always helping people. It's always being there for someone. It's always the charity work. You know, if I'm helping, so I'm trying to find a way where I can do that. Now, the podcast was something that I wanted to start because I wanted to tell a story. I wanted to show people about what being vulnerable can do. And how it can help you. So my idea was, if I show people how vulnerable I was and tell a story unapologetically, maybe that will inspire people to tell their stories as well. Similar to what you're doing. So the idea behind the podcast was to eventually get people on and talk about, traumas, childhood traumas, all that. So my idea was I tell my story for the first one, my childhood traumas, what I went through as a child, and the second one was, an extension of that. And what that created as a human in me for so many years before I became self-aware.
Mm.
Yeah, because we live so much of our lives being not being self-aware of how we are and what we do, and
the impacts that it has on everything.
We make excuses. Yeah, all of these things that shape us as human beings, and until you understand in a certain way where that's come from, it's hard to change. Yeah, but being self-aware and understanding who you are is the first part of it. Yeah, it really is. You know, in the last year, I've lost friends. But it's been an organic thing. Yeah, I needed to lose those friends, and what it did, it showed me what friendships should be. And what you should accept from friendships, and you know, your friend should be supportive of you at all times. It doesn't matter what. My friends, it doesn't matter what they do; they can do whatever. I'm there for them. I'm supportive of them. So, you know, I don't take. I quickly now identify behavior that I go, I don't want a part of that. No hatred. Love you, want you to be, you know, do whatever, but I just don't want it around me anymore. I just, you know, so I'm really selective now on who I have around me. I'm not judging anyone. You know, this isn't about them taking drugs, drinking, smoking. It's not about that. They, you know, my closest friends, you know, can do all of that. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's about who you are as a person, and not even that. It's about what you bring to my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah.
If you bring any type of negativity in my life, I don't want to know.
No one wants to invite a drama queen into, you know, your circle.
Yeah, that's it.
Because, like, why are you bringing that shit here?
Don't need it anymore. But I lived it for so long, man.
Yeah, you probably accepted it as part of the environment and the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And we make allowances thinking that, you know, thinking that tax isn't going to come back to us at some point.
Yeah.
But then it does.
Yeah.
And then it's a smack in the face.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Right. Time to make some decisions.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm grateful for the friendship breakups. Because it made me understand myself more. Yeah, and what I was attached to. So the attachments. And it happens, and it's happened, and it happens every day. Yeah, I go, you know, and you just become more self-aware, and it's beautiful. My life at the moment is really fruitful. Through the, you know, just through the learning about myself. Yeah, it really is. And it's opening so many more healthy relationships. Yeah, and again, it's not about what the other person's doing; it's what they bring to your life. Yeah,
I've got a perspective on what you just said, but I want you to tell me what you think first. Like, when you say learning about yourself, what do you mean?
Learning about how I perceive things, how I react, what makes me upset, how I get to a point where I'm in turmoil, how I get to a point where, and it happens. Yeah, it happened today. It happened today, and I was so critical to myself immediately. So the difference is, we'll go and hide. We hide behind or hide under a rock. But now, what happens with me is I identify it immediately, and I try and correct it immediately. And let me tell you the story.
Mm.
It's not a great story, but it demonstrates what I'm talking about. So I'm on the phone. A supplier's a supplier that called me. She said something. No, sorry, I've called her. I'm asking for this girl who's sent me an email, and she's asking me all these questions. And I'm going, I just need to talk to this girl. And she, in the end, she was satisfied with what I was saying. She goes, "Oh, I'll put you through."
Mm.
And I go, "That was fucking easy, wasn't it?" And immediately, when she sort of paused and went and tried to contact this girl, and I went immediately, "You fucking wanker, you fucking dickhead." What a fucking dickhead move that was. But before, I would have been the victim. I would have been going, "Fuck, yeah." Now I'm just going, "You wanker." Well, so she came back on the phone, and I apologised to her. I went, "Sorry about that. That wasn't, nice." And it happens all the time when you're driving. Yeah, same thing. We get so critical about people cutting us off. We're such fucking hypocrites.
Yeah.
Aren't we?
Yeah.
But does that answer your question?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. What you described there just fits to a T.
Yeah.
What I would say is this. So when I learn about myself, I'm learning about, the for a better word, the different voices in my head.
Yes.
You got the creative voice, and then you've got the logical voice, and then you've got the ego voice, and the trauma voice, and like all these different voices that will try to, I guess, speak the loudest and really impact the emotional state that you're in. Either the ego voice is like, yeah, you should get excited about this because you're going to get X, Y, Z, right? And then logical's like, nah, like just fucking like calm down, right?
Yeah.
Like you need to relax.
Yeah.
Just relax because we play the long game here.
Yeah.
We don't play the short game. We play the long game because the long game is going to get you places, right? And then the trauma voice is like, oh, but remember that time. Remember that time when you were a kid and you had really bad acne and you got picked on and you fucking, like you woke up every morning for 3 years stuck to your pillow because the blood was seeping out of your cheeks, like all of that type of stuff, right? And so when you become self-aware, you can identify those voices and you can identify those emotions and be like, okay, I know what's happening here. I need to make a better decision.
Yeah.
I need to do things more effectively, and stuff like that.
It's so true. It's and the journey's a great journey. It's a great journey because it's really, the self-discovery is it's so powerful. It's so healing. When you start understanding yourself, you start understanding humanity. Yeah, you start understanding people, and you start understanding why people act the way they do. And you become more forgiving on that. Sometimes you don't want those people around you. You can still have boundaries, but you understand why. Yeah, you can understand why, and you can go, right, okay, I get that. So, I still let fly. Sometimes I still get triggered, and I'll still react. But not. I try not to do it from a victim's point of view anymore. I try and sort of just go, listen, I just don't want that around me anymore. And it's a really difficult thing to do sometimes because your ego he's coming over, isn't he? Your ego comes over, but
It's a constant battle.
I'm keeping him in check.
Yeah,
like, little fuckers, keeping him in check. But the thing is,
Don't fuck
it's
with
just,
DJ shit.
yeah, DJ shit's coming for you. But the thing is, just people's. I don't let people get to me anymore. I just don't.
Yeah.
It's I have this thing. I mean, I'm fucking shit on Instagram. Like, I'm no good. I'm a 55-year-old dunce on Instagram. Got no idea what to do. Posting.
You're just starting.
It's
you
fucking
just started.
shit, mate. Honestly, I'm terrible. But you know what? I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. And people that comment on it really expose themselves to me. Yeah. They expose them, not me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When people comment on my Instagram, they expose them, not me. When people comment on my any social media, they expose them, not me. Because I go, don't fucking. Why are you following me? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
I'm a self-confessed shit fucking Instagram user. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Do you find commenting on it powerful? Do you think it's doing anything? Is that feeding your ego? Is it what is it doing?
So I learned early not to allow the positive have any bearing over my output.
Yeah.
Because the positive is the exact same as the negative.
Yeah.
Like, you can fucking get so much attention online, and it feeds the ego so much that you just become completely deluded about your own capability or like what your purpose is and what you're trying to do. And so, like, I'm comfortable with like getting no comments. I mean, it is an indication. If I get no comments, I'm like, okay, I'll try a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But like, it's easy to fall into the trap of, getting all the attention and.
But that's professional though.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. Do you think? I'm talking about comments because you're. I would say, and I'm not. I don't know. You can tell me this. I would say that the barometer for you, because it's your business, is different. Yeah. So you want the comments and you want the interactions and the feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas for me, my personal, I couldn't give a fuck. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So just
Well, my personal Facebook account, for example, I just think it's funny.
Me too.
Like, people are like commenting. There's an ongoing thing with because I used to live in Perth.
Yeah.
And I've reconnected quite well with some of my my sister's schoolmates, right? And the ongoing joke is I'm Korean.
Oh, right.
I'm their Korean brother.
Right.
I'm not Korean. But like, when I had longer hair, I always got mistaken for being Japanese.
Yeah.
And then they were like, no, you're Korean.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's fine.
What is your background of?
My mum's Indonesian.
Right.
And my dad was Australian.
Okay.
Yeah. But my mum's actually the halfie, so she's Dutch Chinese.
Right.
Yeah.
What a great mix.
Yeah. So, so her dad, my grandfather, because the Dutch colonized Indochina.
Yeah.
And he left his first family in the Netherlands and hopped on a boat, and he was an architect.
Right.
And he basically designed the town that my mum grew up in.
Oh, wow.
He passed away when she was, I think, like 13 or 12. But so like, I never got to meet him. But yeah, like 5 siblings and
Wow.
yeah. So, and then my dad grew up in Perth, Irish Welsh.
Wow.
Yeah. and got a diesel mechanic apprenticeship in Perth, and then got shipped to Indonesia with telecom.
Wow.
And then at his lunchtime break, he'd go down to the local school and watch the local girls play volleyball. And one of them was my mum.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't 50, was he? At
No.
The time?
No, he definitely wasn't 50.
No, that's great. What a story. What a
Yeah.
lovely story.
Yeah. So he was a hobby photographer.
Yeah.
So some of the cameras I've got over there on the shelves are actually his.
Right.
And I've got all of his slides and a slide machine and all of that.
Oh, what the one that goes?
No, not. Oh, yeah. I've got the round one, but then I've got the cartridges.
Oh, amazing!
Where's that?
Yeah, I love that. So that's what we had as a family.
Yeah.
When I was younger, and they've all disappeared. Like they've all gone. Like, but all of our photos from when we were kids, no one knows where they are.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty painful.
If anybody, if anybody can help Simon out,
yeah, no, everyone. Yeah, I know.
YouTube, do your thing.
Yeah, that's it. That'd be good. Be good to find. I've got one photo of my dad and I.
Right.
One photo, yeah, and it's a black, like, it's a silhouette of us walking on the beach, and that was it. Yeah. So not many photos of us around, and I guess not many memories either. Yeah. So we've got I've got a similar, not similar, but my dad was Anglo-Indian. He was born in India. My granddad was white Welsh ginger. Yeah. My grandmother was Goanese. Yeah, so Portuguese Indian. So that was my father, and then my mum was full Indian. Yeah, so we've got a bit of a mix there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, growing up was actually really difficult because, like, I grew up in the 80s, and being a mixed race, third culture kid is being of a nationality not of the country that you lived in.
Yeah.
So I spent the first 14 years in Southeast Asia.
Right.
And I was 6 foot at age 12.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And, like, just stuck out, like, everywhere.
Yeah.
Didn't fit in Indonesia when we go back to Indonesia. Didn't fit in Australia when we went back to Perth. Like, where do I fit?
What was the difficulty? What do you remember as being the most difficult thing of your school age?
Oh, my school age?
Oh, growing up.
Yeah, look, just so because we moved. So my dad worked in the oil industry after telecom, and he stayed in that industry for 45 years, right? Pretty much till he passed away. But so we were like always moving around, so not really having a set group of friends, and always having to say goodbye and say hello and like meet new people. And when you're a kid, that instability is hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
And I think it was hard for my parents as well. Like, you know, there was some traumatic stuff that happened and all this type of stuff, which kind of tore them apart. But, yeah, like my dad pretty much wasn't around from when I was 8.
Right.
And then, and then moving to Perth. So the last place, so I was born in Singapore, lived in Indonesia for 2 years, lived in Brunei for 6. Then we did actually live in Singapore for 6. In Singapore, we went to a British school, but we all got American accents. Right. And then we moved to Perth. straight into year 9 in Perth, into a class where everybody already knows everybody. They all grew up from such a young age.
Yeah.
And here's this 6 foot Asian looking American sounding guy.
Yep.
Who the fuck is he?
Yeah. 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 Especially in those times in the 80s where they would have been brutal back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this was the 90s now, but yeah,
90s,
like
yeah.
it was just hard.
Yeah.
And I was actually a completely different person. Like, you look at me now, imagine the complete opposite. That's who I was pre-18.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what changed?
Something happened with my dad.
Right.
And I was like, yeah. He I'll tell you off air.
Yeah.
But basically, he obliterated my whole idea of these stereotypes in society.
Right.
And so I had decided at that point, fuck everybody.
Well,
I'm just going to be who I'm going to be. And if I want to make people laugh, I'm going to make people laugh. And positivity is a choice. It's everybody has a choice to wake up and be positive about things. And if you can see the positive in every situation, you're going to get somewhere.
And you've had that since 18.
Since 18.
That's fantastic, isn't it? That is so good. And you know, from a young age, my mum, I didn't have my dad around either. 9 years old, my dad committed suicide. So I grew up with 5 older sisters. I was the youngest of 6.
You were the baby.
I was the baby, the only boy, with my mum and sisters. I mean, growing up, you know, their friends were pretty good. Watching them get dressed to go out. You know.
God damn!
It was pretty. Yeah.
And
That's an off-air story as well.
Yeah. That's definitely an off-air story. You were the like, oh, this is my younger brother.
That's it.
We got to look after him.
That's it.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's it. No, that's it. And you know, I had my sister's friends coming to. Anyway, that's the off-air story.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I grew up with 5 older sisters and a mum.
That's why you're so softly spoken.
Well, you know, I don't know why. Well, I think I know why. But I just, like, all my best friends are girls. I get on better and understand girls better. Don't know how that's happened, you know, because I've got really good friends who are guys, but I just seem to resonate and more comfortable around girls, and that's not a sleazy thing. It's just something like we're growing up with 5 sisters. You kind of get an understanding of a female perspective. Yeah, I saw there's things I saw as a kid with my sisters and their partners. You're like, and it makes you become more empathetic to their perspective. So, you know, my mum, when I was, what I was saying, my mum,
shit, hang on.
Go.
How long has that been off?
I don't know.
Fuck.
Yeah, have a look.
The joys of being a one-man job.
Yeah, I know. Battery. And we're back. So yeah, it's the same. My dad took his life when I was 9. Yeah. Grew up with 5 older sisters.
Yeah.
A mum, and so I got a real good upbringing, and as a result, I've got a good perspective from a good understanding of a female perspective. And my mum said to me, I used to say to my mum, why aren't we religious? Because my mum's Hindu, Indian background, and why aren't we religious? And she used to say to me, just be a good person. Don't worry about religion. Just be a good person. Just be kind. And I kind of try to take that through life. Yeah, try to be kind. Try to help people. Try to, be there. Sometimes it would hurt you. Yeah, because people just take advantage of you, especially at that age. So I don't know.
100%.
How was that with you? From that understanding of going right, this being positive.
Look, I guess having seen my mum and then my sister being like them both being such strong female, such strong role models, I really, like, when I started my photography, I wanted to like give back to women, and show them a different perspective, and stuff like that. But like I'm always like in every relationship that I've had, I'm always like a giver.
Yeah, absolutely.
I give.
Absolutely.
Like I don't want to fight. I'm not a fighter.
No.
Fighting gets you nowhere.
Yeah.
And then in the last couple of years, I've realised that because I'm a very energy person, so another I guess another thing that so when I was younger, like growing up, like because I was so emotional, I'd like cry at everything and I didn't know why. And then about 13 years ago, I started doing consulting and realised that, oh shit, like I've actually got a particular capability, a particular skill that if I can harness, I can use in my consulting. And then when I started photography, I was like, okay, let me see if I can do it with photography as well. And I have. And so what I think has happened, like since I was very young, is I take on people's energy. And then 13 years ago, I've developed the skill to be able to see energy.
Wow.
Right? And see people's auras.
Wow.
And do things and like body language, like from a consulting point of view, body language and like listening to people and watching them and being aware of what's going on in particular rooms or workshops and things like that. I mean, I went from running workshops with like 3 people to running workshops with 55 people effectively.
Amazing.
And so with photography, doesn't matter who you are, I can make sure we get some good photos. Because I can see what energy you've got, and then I can help to change it to get it to where I need it to get to.
And how do you deal with the bad energies that come across your way?
Look, you have to. There's different techniques. Yeah, you have to do different things.
Yeah. Challenging?
Yeah, definitely challenging. Yeah. Because you get this idea of what the situation is going to be like, based on prior communications or whatever. And then next thing you know, it's like, whoa, okay. And then you got to adjust.
So you don't see that energy from the outset.
No.
Right.
I can see energy from photos,
yes,
but it's a lot stronger if it's in person.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What an amazing skill.
Yeah, it's
Is it exhausting?
It is exhausting.
Yeah,
It's
I would've
it's
thought so.
really exhausting. As I've gotten older, I can't deal with large groups of people anymore.
Right.
But if it's something that I really, want to be at or want to do, then I have to just turn it off.
Was there something that started that for you? Do you think there was an incident, or what actually made you start seeing auras? What was the catalyst for it, or did it just happen?
I think I just became more aware of it. I think I could see it. Always. It was just, you just need to fine tune and really be aware.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Because when I started consulting, I was I'd walk out of these workshops thinking to myself, what just happened there? I thought it was going one way, and then I've somehow completely turned it around, actually got a great outcome. Right. And then also what happened, which was very obvious, I'd go into meetings, never met these people, right? And so, my type of consulting is efficiency.
Right.
Right.
So teaching people to become efficient.
Teaching people to become efficient,
Yep.
or identifying areas of efficiency for improvement, all that type of stuff, right?
Okay.
I'm the number one guy people hate.
Yeah.
Right? Because all they see is he's going to take my job away from me. Right? However, every single person I meet, these are the words that they tell me. I shouldn't really tell you this, but X, Y, Z.
Yeah, well.
You know who I am.
Yeah.
But you're saying these things.
Yeah.
And I guess I kind of worked out that I have a particular approach where I can make people feel really comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
With what they want to, solicit to me.
And is that, and this is what I find myself. Yeah. I find people telling me things that, I can't see auras. Okay. I see when people are authentic and I can pick up arseholes really quickly. Really quickly. I'm sure you can as well. I just go.
I'm glad I made the cut.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah. Anyway,
it was a close call. I didn't think DJ Shit was going to come.
No, DJ Shit. He's one of those people I don't like. So yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because just the vulnerability is
motherfucker. This fucking.
Is it turned off again?
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Great. So we're looking at that one.
Yeah.
Making sure that's cool. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the vulnerability of people,
Yeah, so you can pick up who the assholes are.
Yeah, and I went to I went to the shop today. I bought a pair of jeans, and I walk into this shop, and this girl, I'm talking to her like she was a girl that from behind the counter or in the shop. She's the manager, and we're talking. She starts telling me about her dad, and I go, yeah, it was crazy. We're talking, and I'm telling her about myself first, yeah.
Yeah.
And then she says, I've never told anyone that. And I went, she goes, I don't know. I'm really guarded about who I tell people. She goes, you've got this thing that compels
this
me
energy. Yeah.
And I said, you know what? You're not the first person. didn't say that.
Mm.
I said, people, I've got friends that say to me, you've got this thing that people want to actually tell you their story. That's what I want to harness. That's what I want to. When you said you recognised recognizing the auras and you want to harness that, and that's what I want to harness. I want to just like really lean into helping people like that, in that way, and understanding and talking to people about their stories, allowing them to tell their stories. And I think that's a real stigma with people nowadays. They're really scared to open up. Yeah, and as we know, it's such a fucking hugely powerful thing, isn't it?
Oh, it's a hugely powerful thing, and I think I guess I kind of do it through photography in that I create a safe enough space for people to like take their masks off and be their vulnerable self. And people will be, people looking or watching this will be like, oh, your models are in such vulnerable poses. Mate, but like they come to me. Yeah. Yeah. And so at the end of the day, like I think creating a space that allows people to do that, then the people end up finding you. Yeah. And seeking you out. Yeah. And it's like, we need more of that, more of that vulnerability. Yeah. But then there's that whole piece around the ego and then the social media and all this, right? And it's like, I get it. I totally get it. You just do it when you're ready.
That's exactly right. It's a journey. It took me so long. Took me so long to understand myself. And, I was always this empathetic, caring, loving person, but never to myself. Yeah. I'd always be the one that, my ex wife would say to me, stop fucking helping people. I don't appreciate it. And I go, I can't help it. It's just me. I just like that's it fills my cup. Yeah. But then what happens is I put pressure on myself. Yeah. So I've learned now that it's okay to help people, but it's also okay to say no. It's okay to just realise where you're at in your life and go, you're going to put unnecessary pressure on yourself. Yeah. And that's not good either. Yeah. Because that fucks with your mental health. And
that's a hard lesson to learn. You have to go through that a number of times to then go, you know what? I need to catch myself out and stop myself because I know it's not good. And that's actually a forever like lesson within yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
That you have to keep checking on.
Absolutely. And it's funny when you see, but because it makes you more aware of the world, doesn't it? Because you see people when you go, I've got a business partner. My business partner, he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. Probably one of the most intelligent people I've ever met in my life, technically. Unbelievable. He's a lot younger than me. He's about 20 years younger than me. He's an absolute fucking stress head. I'm sure he's got fucking ADHD or something like that. But he's brilliant at what he does. Absolutely brilliant at what he does.
We still love you, business partner.
Yeah, love him. But very, everything's got to be 100%. He will not accept. It's hard for him to accept anything less than 100%. Yeah. And I say to him, do you know how hard your life's going to be if you keep going down this track? You got to, no one does anything as good as him. Yeah. Yeah. As in, he won't say that to you, but when he implements these things and people don't do it, oh no, not good enough. It's not good enough. So his standard is so high. What he doesn't understand is there's people that struggle to keep up with that standard.
Yeah,
Because he's so good.
yeah. He's not Elon Musk, is he?
Oh, mate, he's
Mate, you're
he's
not fucking
brilliant.
building fucking spaceships.
But the thing is, he's brilliant in what he
Yeah.
does. Yeah, he really is brilliant. You know, he set up all of our systems. You know, and people come look at our system and go, "Fucking hell, Michael." Yeah, he's so good. But you know, he puts all this pressure on himself, and I say to him, "Mate, I know I've got time. I want some time. I want to, you know, I want to, you know, take more time in the week." And I go, "Mate, all right, just say 1 day a week. If we want to go to a 4-day week, you have 1 day off." I said, "What would you pay for that? Would you pay 100 grand? Would you pay 200 grand? Would you pay 30 grand, 40 grand?" I said, "Would you pay 30 grand? Let's start there." He go, "Yeah." I'll go, "Would you pay 40 grand?" He goes, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." I go, "Well, fucking hire someone."
Yeah.
Yeah, hire someone,
Yeah.
you know, to take that away from you. And, you know, we're so about money, 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 money. I'll go, "Mate, forget that shit." I said, "Yes, money's important and all that." I said, "But mate, what I see it doing to you, it ain't worth it. It's not worth it. What it's doing to your anxiety, your mental state, your you know, your nervous system. You don't understand. Fucking let it go. If we make 50% less than we're making now, but we're happy, that's where we need to be."
Yeah, you'll still be all right.
Yeah. This is the guy that said to me when I went away, for the first time, I went away for 6 weeks. He said directors shouldn't be going away for that amount of time. And I went, "Mate, you've got this ass about, mate."
Wow.
I said, "No." All right. So my accountant was sat with me at the time. Our accountant was sat with me at the time, and he goes, "Michael," and I think it was because the accountant said it as well.
Oh.
He went, "Fuck realisation." Now he's taking 4 or 5 weeks holidays twice a year, and I'm going, "Fucking brilliant."
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Go, mate.
You come back
Go.
re-energized.
Well, he doesn't. He's got that mindset. He
Ah.
comes back and go, he'll come back and go, "Oh, fuck, I've got to get all this," you know? Whereas I go, "It is what it is. We'll fix it. We can't fix it." And I've got to that point as well now where I used to go, yes, yes, yes to everyone. And, you know, I'll be terrified letting anyone down. Terrified.
Yeah.
Now I don't fucking care. Not in that way, but of not letting. If I can't get to something we can't get something as a business, I'll just say, "Mate, I'm really sorry." Whereas before I'd fucking stress out, you know, try and move mountains and get this thing done, and I'd go. But now I just go, "Mate, I can't get there. Sorry, mate. Look, I can give the job to someone else. You know, I understand. Wasn't my intention, but that's where we're at." Life's so much easier, man.
I think there just comes at like a level of maturity in understanding how you operate and like how, like what's more value to you. You know, it sounds like for you, like right now, that what's most valuable is 1, your health, and 2, your happiness. Everything else is secondary.
Yeah,
You know.
Kids, you know, my kids as well. My kids, are up. They are the priority.
Yeah,
they're the priority. Everything else, yeah, you're right. You know, health, happiness, and I guess
the kids fall into happiness.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But just not fucking taking yourself too seriously, man. and honestly, we take ourselves too seriously. Honestly, we do.
I'm always doing posts. It's like, don't take yourself so seriously because the wind will change and you'll be stuck with that face.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be stuck with that face.
Yeah.
You want to be stuck with a face that's happy.
That's right. That's it. That's it. You know, when I decided to move out of the family home and, you know, whatever happened there.
Yeah.
I said to myself, I'm prepared to go and sleep on a couch of a mate and be happy. Yeah. Don't care. I'm in a fortunate position where I haven't had to do that. But that still is true now. Yeah. If I lose everything and I have to go and sleep on my mate's couch, I have to go. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'm okay with it because that's not what happiness is. Yeah, it's got to be from here, and those things. The beach is still free. Yeah, the water's still free. Walking's still free. Yeah, all of these things.
Breathing is still free.
Breathing's still free if you're doing it properly, and we'll have to get onto that one day. And your friendships are free. Yeah. So it's just changed my perspective of life. Money, yes, I'm grateful for the money that I earn and business earns and does well. But it's not be all and end all anymore. It just really isn't. Yeah.
Would you say that the thing that happened to you this year pushed you more down that path?
Absolutely. Look, it was happening. It's been happening for the last couple of years. But absolutely, that was a pivotal moment. I've said throughout my life, I've been so lucky with things, lucky with business, lucky with, and I know we make our own luck. Yeah. Just fortunate, through even down to the, partying side of it. I've been fortunate in, circumstances and, to come through pretty much unscathed. But I paid for it this year, yeah. It got collected this year. Well, at the end of it, it got taxed at the end of last year. And it was when I say this, people won't believe that when I say having a quadruple heart bypass and a heart attack was probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah. Was one of the best things that ever happened to me. Because I don't know whether my conviction to stop living the way I was strong enough. Yeah. Now, the heart attack and the wasn't me, and I'm not going, oh my God, that scared the shit out of me. That scared. I'm not saying that. That's not what has made the change for me. It's just just an acceptance, I think, of going, all right, you've been given a second chance, yeah, because I could have been very different, could have been very, very different. Been given a second chance, just live it in a better way, yeah. And honestly, these last few weeks or these last couple of months that I've been living that way, mate, I'll never go back to how I was because it's just I'm just present, man. Yeah, present. It's like a drug to me now. Yeah,
being present,
being sober. Being sober is my new drug. Yeah, and I mean that. I used smoking and all of that. I don't want to do it, and I'm okay to be around everyone. Like I said earlier, I'm okay to be around people doing whatever, drinking, smoking, whatever. I just don't want to do it anymore. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
It's life changing. It was life changing. So I'm grateful for that because I don't think I would have stopped. Yeah.
So my dad had a triple bypass.
Yep.
So I would get a phone call. So from the, I'd say from 16, maybe even 15. So my parents divorced when I was like 15, 16. And then I'd get one phone call like every year around my birthday. Right?
Okay.
And then 8 years ago, so my birthday's in November. 8 years ago, he called me in September.
Right.
I was like, thinking, why is he fucking calling me in September? Like, he knows my birthday's in November. Like, all of us 3 kids, our birthdays are all in November. That's an even funnier story, but I'll tell that after. And it's like, oh, I'm just calling because I'm on a wait list, getting some work done for my heart. I got a stent put in there a couple of years ago. They're going to go in, clean it up, I was like, okay, cool. He's like, so I'm just calling to let you know, probably in December, if not December, definitely January. So, okay, cool. Doesn't happen in December, happens in January. My sister lives in Singapore, so he got it done in Thailand.
Right.
In Songkhla.
All right.
Which is where he lived, which is like an hour and a half southwest from Bangkok.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister went and saw him. So she was there when he came out of ICU and all of this. And she called me. Sorry, she texted me. And then I FaceTimed her. And I was like, oh, how's he going? He was like in the background, like with a face mask on, whatever. I was like, oh, you should take a photo. You should take a photo because we'll show it to him afterwards and he'll laugh. She's like, no. I'm like, yeah. I hung up and made her take the photo.
Yeah.
And then I called her back. We had a chat. 45 minutes later, all the alarm bells went off. He had a brain aneurysm.
No fucking way. What the fuck? Wow.
To this day, she always says to me, thank you for making me take that photo because that's the last photo I had with him.
Wow. And passed on from the brain aneurysm?
Yeah, passed away from the brain
Wow.
aneurysm. So, because she was there, obviously she had to do all the clearing out of the room and all this. There was a fucking last testament in the bedside table at the hospital.
Yeah, wow.
He didn't tell anybody. Right. It was a triple bypass.
Ah. Right. Just telling you it was stints, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
Why the fuck are you getting it done in Thailand?
Yeah.
Come back to Australia.
Fucking hell. And what a story. What made him get it done in Thailand?
So apparently he was like, because the cardiologist was in Songkhla, he felt like obliged that he had to stay and get it done in Songkhla.
Right.
But like, and he was 64.
What the fuck? Yeah, young, man. Yeah. So was that his first ever heart?
Yeah, I think so.
So same with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I fucking honestly, if I'm honest with myself, I probably knew it was coming for years. Just not. I'm just like going. But the thing is, you go to get these things done. We don't do the right tests. Number one, we do not do the right test because we go and get heart tests, and they go, no, there's nothing wrong with your heart. Even on the night, no, there's nothing wrong with your heart. But the arteries leading to it, all fucked. Yeah, yeah. And I've got to say that our health system here is just fucking amazing. It's amazing. So we're lucky to have that level of care here. But yeah, the week before, I was like feeling tired. Because I work from home, I'd go and lay down for an hour, and but previous to that, about a week or so before that, I was like getting these stomach pains, like fucking real like indigestion pains, and so I went to the chemist and said, look, I'm getting these pains, and he said, oh, you're just getting heartburn, no problem. So he gave me Nexium. I'd have a Nexium, bang, done, cool, all good. So that's what I'm thinking it is. In the week leading up to it, we was getting tired in the daytime, sort of feeling a little bit uncomfortable, but nothing major. I'd just go and lay down for an hour, wake up, I'd feel fine. Okay, cool, I'm just getting fatigued or tired. The night it happened, I was driving home from our work breakup, from the Christmas breakup. Yeah, well, I'm getting the feelings, and I'm talking to my friend Lisa, and she's saying to me, she said to me, "Are you okay?" And I go, because she's talking, and if you know Lisa, she does, love it. I'll often be on the phone to her, and she's telling me massive stories, and I'll say 2 words. That's why I love her. But this night was the same, but I wasn't interacting. She said, for the first time she's ever said to me, she goes, "Are you okay?" And I went, yeah, but I wasn't. I was driving. I just wanted to get home. I was in that mindset as I'm driving a car, I need to get home. And listening or talking at the time was uncomfortable. It was actually uncomfortable being on the phone to her. Not because of her, just because I was going through something. I just fucking want to get home. So I'm thinking now, we've had all this rich food at the breakup. I'm getting that same fucking indigestion again. I'm not feeling well. I'm going to go home and go to the toilet. I'll be fine. So I'll get home and just, like, my mate was staying there that night. And I'll walk in and go, "Mate, yeah, I'm just not feeling well. I'm just going to go to the toilet." Went to the toilet. Came out, not feeling any better. So I just said to him, "Mate, I'm just going to go to bed." This was, I'd say 11 o'clock, 11:30. It wasn't a late one at all. I went and laid down. And Andrew, something just said to me, I was laid down for 5 minutes. Something just went, "Mate, fucking go to the hospital." Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, because I'm thinking, right, just go to the hospital. And I went, fuck it, just get up and go. And never done it before, by the way. Yeah. Never. Dickhead goes, right, don't call an ambulance. It's a Friday night. They'll be too busy, and it's like the breakup night. It's like the 20th of December. You're either going to be waiting for one or you're going to be taking it away from someone that actually really needs it. So get in the car, stop being a pussy and drive, right? So I go out to my mate and I said, my mate said, I need to go to the hospital. He goes, "Fuck, all right." He goes, "I've been drinking." I went, "Fuck, all right." So we get in the car. I go, "I'll drive." He goes, "I'll come with you." So we're driving the car to Frankton Hospital. And the Frankton Hospital is a 5-minute drive. Now, as we're going, I'm feeling more and more discomfort. Feeling more and more discomfort. I'm fuck. And now everyone says to me, "How was it?" Everyone's so interested in what this feeling was like of a heart attack. What was it? Did you get the pain in your arms? I go, "No. It's like I fucking needed a shit." That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. That constipation.
Did you have mushrooms that night or what?
No, not that night. No. DJ shit needed a shit. So that's what it felt like, mate. And it was like so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I'm still like really in discomfort. I'm driving and we hit this level crossing. Down come the fucking barriers. The longest train in the fucking world goes past. It's one of those freight trains.
Oh God!
And we're sat there. They're like, I'm like in the front of the car. I'm thinking, please fucking hurry up. Please,
you're getting fucking white knuckle fever.
So, my mate Simon sat next to me. Another Simon sat next to me. Like we're both going, and we're both obviously thinking, fuck, now I can't talk. Now, at this point, I can't talk. So this thing is taking so long. Simon at the end goes, "Fucking hell, how long's this train?" Ordinarily I'd have pissed myself laughing, but I went, "Mate, yeah, I know." Anyway, it goes. We go through. We go into the emergency.
Yeah.
Go in there. Now I can't even sit on the chair. I'm laid on the floor. I can try to get my breath because everything's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
My mate's going. We went up to the triage nurse and she said, "We got to get you an ECG." So long story short, I get into the ECG eventually. this is what I'm saying to you, that he takes a read of my heart. He said, there's nothing wrong with your heart. Takes a blood test. He goes, you're fine. He goes, you can go and wait out in the waiting room again. And I go, at this point, my blood pressure is 240 over 120 or something like that. Something crazy.
Yeah.
So he's giving me tablets. And at this point, I'm going, okay, cool. This is just fucking indigestion again. This is nothing wrong with my heart. Nothing wrong with Next thing I know, triage nurse comes over. I saw a doctor come out, give her something. She gets up straight away. Well, she prints like, fuck, I'm thinking, I'm seeing her, she's fucking around. She comes round and she said, come with me. Okay. Puts his thing around my wrist. I go, oh, this fucking doesn't look good. It takes me to a bed. And the next thing I know, on the Monday morning, I'm having an angiogram. So this was the Friday night. They keep me in over the weekend. They tell me that I've had a heart attack on the Saturday.
Wow.
They say you've had a heart attack. Your enzymes. So how they find out is they take your blood and they measure the enzymes in your blood. Now, if your enzymes are high, you've had a heart attack.
Right.
So that's how they found out.
Right.
So they're telling me that I have to have this angiogram on a Monday. Now, normally when I go, if I'm at hospital, if they put me out, fucking do what you want. Do what you want.
Yeah.
So they say, you've got to have this angiogram. I said, what's that? Well, they will put a camera up your arm. We put dye into your arteries. But you're going to be awake for it.
Mm.
And I'm going, what the fuck? What, awake? Yeah, so I'm shitting myself now. I've got no idea what this feels like.
Mm.
So we get it done. And they sedate you, so you don't know what's going on anyway. It's fine. Get you to sign the waiver, you know, if you die.
If something happens to you.
No, I'm going, anyway. He wakes me up from the angiogram. This is on Monday morning. He wakes me up. I'm in the theatre, still on the theatre bed. He wakes me up, and Simon, I'm like, come around. He goes, not even wakes me up. I'm awake. I'm just sedated. He said, mate, we've got an ambulance coming to take you to the Alfred, like now. He said, you've got to have a quadruple bypass, heart bypass. And I'm thinking, like, stints, going to take being here out in fucking, similar story,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was it. The next morning, I'm on the table. They're cutting me open, mate. So crazy, fucking crazy. But, yeah, amazing. And do you know, believe it or not, the hardest thing was the recovery in, not outside of ICU, they just pumped me with ketamine.
Yeah.
I was spaced out for 5 days. The hardest thing was the recovery when you got in the ward.
Yeah.
Towards the end. And at home, like just recovering from that. But mate, the Alfred and the people there and like the surgeons, just amazing, man. Yeah, so grateful. But yeah, that was the story. So here we are, mate. That was 12 weeks ago. No, so that was 13 weeks ago.
From thinking it was heartburn and indigestion over a number of weeks, and then going to hospital, thinking, oh yeah, it's just heartburn again, to nah.
Yeah, and I've got a scar this big here. So what they did is they took an artery out of here. That's that scar there.
Yeah.
I've got a scar from here to there.
Yeah.
Like on my leg. So they cut my chest open essentially. Well, you know what they do, yeah. Yeah.
And they take the arteries from other places and put them in.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So full on, man.
Well,
full on. We're here though.
Thank God.
We're here.
Thank God we're here.
Of course, man. It's great.
So now your purpose is to do something that helps other people.
It was always my purpose, yeah. I think it's brought it home a lot more now. And one thing I don't want to do is preach. Fuck, I don't want to be preaching. Don't do this. Don't fucking do that.
You don't want to join Hillsong.
No. I don't want to be. No. Told you I wasn't religious, didn't I?
Yeah.
So
Just be kind, your mum said.
yeah, just be kind. Just want to be kind. And that's the thing, you know. I don't want to preach. I don't want to say, don't do this, don't do that. You know, I just want to give someone. I want to give perspectives.
Yeah.
I want to give perspective and just say, listen, you know, this is my story. Tell me yours. And I think sometimes people just want to tell a story. They don't want to be preached to. They don't want to be told what to do because, you know, as you know, people telling you what to do generally doesn't turn out that you're going to do those things, is it?
Nah.
Yeah.
Thanks to my dad, that's my trigger.
Yeah.
You tell me not to do something, I'll show you how it can be done.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, so.
Like, don't use that against me, whoever you are.
Yeah. But that's it, you know, just so in answer to the question, yeah, just, that's how I'd like to help people. And I don't know what that looks like. I don't know where that fits right now. But it's definitely something that I'm exploring and I want to get into. Yeah, really do. Really want to. Now, whether that's through men's groups, I don't want to monetize this either. It's not about earning a living. If I monetize this, it stops becoming authentic. Yeah, it really does. I don't want it to be a career. I want it to be something that we do just as an everyday thing. Yeah, so I'm not scared to tell people my story about how I've been, you know, there's fucking a whole background story, there's a massive story behind this as well. You know, that create the person I am today, but, you know, I want to be telling these things to people to get them to open up and tell me, and it's...
Yeah, I think I really think that there's definitely more of an opportunity for like storytelling and making people feel safe enough to tell their own story, you know, because everyone has an opportunity to learn off everybody else. It's just that people like you and I have led multiple lives in this one lifetime that's exceptional. But we've gathered all of this knowledge and all of this information that, you know, we could be someone who just like, you know what, I'm just going to fucking keep it all to myself, or I try to monetize it or whatever. But you've got a particular way about how you present yourself that would really resonate with so many people, you know, and I think... yeah, it's like the rest of this year is just going to be exciting for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, it already is. You know, I'm jumping out my comfort zone again, which is exciting. It's not, you know, we do these things with apprehension a lot of the time, but it's okay to fail, like you said earlier. It's okay to fail. I'm not scared of failing. I'm not scared of, you know, I genuinely want, because I know what the I know what the purpose is behind it, yeah, and that's really helping people to just open up, and that's it. That's as simple as it can get. I don't want you to, you know, start fucking climbing Everest. I don't want you to do these things. Just want you to just open up. Just like as you say. Create a safe space, yeah. Create a safe space for people to tell their stories and know that it's okay. Particularly men. I mean, men is it's the holy grail, isn't it? It's just like, you know. And we grew up with fathers where mental health at where my dad took his life in when I was 9 years old, which would have been, you know, 80 in the mid 80s. Men's mental health was non-existent.
Oh yeah,
non-existent.
Non-existent. Yeah. Look, I still get messages. So when the anniversary of his passing comes along, 25th, maybe 24th of January. Anyway, around then, I always get messages from all these random friends of his all over the world.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
Oh, he was such a great man. Da da da. All of this.
How do you receive that?
So they usually come via Facebook Messenger, but
No,
but how I actually take it
Yeah, sorry.
is it's a bit I have to tread lightly because a couple of times I've wanted to like just open the floodgates and really tell them, but I don't want to like change their image of who he was in their own mind, you know, because they go on and like I think they know, like to a little extent, but they're always saying, oh, you know, he was the greatest friend, da da da, but he was the hardest man you ever knew.
Mm.
And I'd be like, oh, what do you mean?
Mm.
And they're like, oh, you couldn't like talk to him about any emotions, no emotions. But if you needed a tool, you'd call tools because he always had the tool that you needed, right? And like he was an alcoholic and all that type of stuff. Because in the 80s, the only two industries, well, one of two industries that survived the recession was the oil industry.
Right.
And we were in Brunei, richest man in the world in the 80s, right? And, you know, so alcohol was just accepted as the way of life for expats.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, you know, I think no one had the guts to like pull him up on it or anything like that. And so he he lived an eccentric life. I don't know whether or not he was happy. Because of the trauma that he had and that he didn't deal with because he didn't have the support services for it. Right?
Taboo.
Yeah.
Fucking so taboo.
Yeah.
But how old was your? You was 64, wasn't he? Yes.
Yeah.
So, and you know when you talk about when they call you, and they tell you these things, and you think about how to receive it. Do you think what purpose is it going to serve for me now to just let, although there's something probably inside you going, I need to let this out, or I need to tell them because for my healing or for my but there's an element of it for I know that it would be for me that and I'm doing this a lot in a lot of different areas right now. I just say to myself, what's it going to get me? What services? What purpose is it going to serve? You know, even right down to writing emails in response to someone. I just go, no, don't write that. Don't send that. Fucking delete it. You know. You know. So it's. I ask myself those questions. I didn't know whether that was something that you think about when they ask you the questions as well.
Yeah. I definitely I don't like they've got this image of what he was like, you know, and like it's fine. At the end of the day, so I think the third year after his passing, I like really like forgave him. Because I've always lived my life, right, to try to like understand what's going on, understand how things work, understand people's behaviors, yada yada yada, all of this, right? Imagine having a father that age 8, from age 8, like he just became quite abusive, right? alcoholic, worked away. Every single time he'd come home, he'd just like yell and scream at you, all this, right?
Yeah.
And then you live your whole adolescence and your adult life not having him really, and you don't really know who he is. And then when he passes, my sister finds the last testament in his bedside table, and he talks about his 3 phases of his life. The first phase is growing up in Perth and, you know, Perth life and, you know, getting his apprenticeship and, you know, really wanting to be diesel mechanic, you know. Second phase of his life, moving to Indonesia and Asia, and, you know, he never came back to Australia ever.
Wow.
Right? He left when he was like 17. And Asia was just this new world, and, you know, and then he met this woman and he had 3 kids, yada, yada, yada. And then his third phase was, you know, meeting the love of his life, who was not his last wife. And having all these like great friends and friendships all over the world. And he talks about the greatest thing in his life is being the founding member of a motorcycle club.
Oh. Yeah.
Which we later find out is a 1%er.
Yeah. Right.
And doing the annual Christmas run. Handing out Christmas gifts to the village kids.
Well, yeah. Wow. To read that as a child? Yeah.
So to read that as an adult, you kind of go, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's...
but there's more to the story.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you after the recording.
Is there? All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, I had this moment when I was just before he took his life. I reckon must have been eight. Now, my dad was a womanizer. He used to bring his girlfriends home. My poor mum. And he would just say, "Oh, look, they just need help." And I was on. He'd come home drunk one night, and he was in the bed, and I can hear my mum speaking to him. Now, double story house. Go up the stairs, and you had the open slat balustrades, and I could hear my dad, and I'm like a young kid, and I'm interested in what's going on.
Yeah. You're the only boy as well.
Exactly. Dad's
you're
fucking
like,
everything.
Yeah, you're like
my
looking
dad
up
was everything.
to the idol.
So yeah, exactly right. Now he bought this woman Carol home previously who had a son called Alan, and he would take me to their house, and he would go off with her, and I would be with this Alan who fucking would bully the shit out of me. I hated him. Yeah, and like really, so it was traumatic for me that side of.
Yeah.
So I'm sat on the stairs. My dad's in bed drunk. My mum's talking to him. I can hear it, and I'm just fucking eavesdropping on the stairs. And my dad says, "I want my son." And my mum said, Simon's downstairs. He goes, "No, Alan." Like, and I heard that as an 8-year-old.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So bang, fucking here's Simon's insecurities and fucking abandonment issues that stayed with him his whole fucking life.
Yeah.
Up until his 50s, yeah. And until the time that I've decided that forgiveness was the only way. Yeah. That night he put my mum in hospital, I beat my mum up and put her in hospital. It was one of them. I don't have I don't know about you. I don't have many memories of being a child. Just don't have them. You know, here and there, yeah. But that thing that he said then was just like, fucking wow, just blew me away. Yeah, and that was just like, so every relationship I had after that was like, tried to hold on to so fucking much, and that created insecurities.
Yeah.
It created, when I was in healthy relationships, looking for other things, because nothing. I just wanted that adoration from
Nothing
whoever.
wasn't. Yeah.
It was never good enough.
Yeah.
It was never good enough for me. Just like, even knowing now what that was and what it is now is so, refreshing and healing, because you see those behaviors and where they came from, and how that affected other people that you actually really loved. You love these people. So yeah, those to talk about, perceptions of your father and all that, and as a 9-year-old hearing that was massive. Like, similar to like you reading that and him not mentioning you.
Yeah, you can't. You're like as an adult, you're like, what? Hang on a minute. We weren't the greatest things of your life.
Exactly right.
Fuck. Well, like, what are the chances of having 3 kids?
Yeah.
All Valentine's babies.
Yeah.
So my birthday's the 26th of November.
Yeah.
My sister's is the 24th of November.
Wow.
If my brother came on his due date, he would be the 25th of November.
Wow.
So it would have been 24,
25,
25, 26, right? But of course, he's a Scorpio, so he came a week early.
Yeah.
But, I'm like...
He's a Scorpio.
Stubborn.
I get that.
Yeah.
I got it.
But like as an adult, you're reading that and you're like, what?
Yeah.
It just doesn't fucking make any sense.
Yeah.
Right? And then 3 weeks later, after so we got cremated in Songkla, and some of his bone and ash got brought back to Perth, and then we had a ceremony in Perth, which was weird because I was a mess for some reason.
Yeah.
Just an absolute mess.
Right.
And it's
How old were you?
So 38. Right. Absolute mess. And it's just like 38, 37. I'm like, I don't understand why,
Repressed?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. It's just kind of like, okay.
So, fuck, man.
But then 3 weeks later, my mum told us something, and it was like, just fucking all came.
Yeah.
It was like, no wonder.
Yeah. It's so funny.
No wonder.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you. So he was part of a running group in the 80s. Actually, like throughout his whole life. It's part of this international running group called the Hash House Harriers.
Yeah.
And so their motto is, we're a group of runners that drink and drinkers that run.
Right.
And so they would hold like running nights every single night of the week. And so, and it's like, so in the 80s, like particularly in like Brunei, there's no infrastructure. So there's all dirt tracks and jungle. So that you're running through jungle, following toilet paper trails,
right?
So there's a bit of fun, and there's always like a run master and all this, but you always end up at the last. You always end up where you started, because that's where all the booze and food is.
Right.
Found
your way back.
Yeah. So if you get lost, just find your way back. Right. And so he was going to all these nights during the week, and there were like couple nights and men's only nights and women nights and family days and all this, right? My mum, so at this point, that got 3 kids. My mum gets this phone call, 3 o'clock in the morning one night. It's his work colleague. hey Sally, we just let you know we're trying to get Milton out of the police jail. And she's like, what? Like, oh, he's not home. Where is he? We're just trying to get him out. We're just trying to get him out. And, as soon as he gets out, he has to leave the country. Otherwise, he's going to get executed.
Right.
Drink driving.
Yeah. Kill someone.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah.
Killed a kid.
Wow.
A boy.
Wow. And they tried to protect him.
Correct.
Yeah.
They tried to protect him. He got out. He left. He went to Singapore, never to return. My mum had to pick up the pieces and pack up the house and sell the house
and take on all of the fucking
kids.
Well, no, I mean the vilification of what happened.
Yeah.
She had to, what?
And move us to Singapore.
Yeah,
right?
Wow.
And so here I am. So after receiving that information, just like processing it, you kind of go, so when he would come home drunk and he'd scream and yell at us, was he screaming and yelling at us? Or was he screaming and yelling at the kid when he was in the car?
Right. Yeah. Wow. Fuck. Yeah. Would he still drink and drive after that happened?
I don't know.
Fuck, man. That's something that's heavy.
That's heavy.
Wow,
yeah?
that's heavy. Yeah, that's fucking heavy. I mean, for you to realize something like that about your father. Yeah. Wow, man.
And then the thing that happened when I was 18, which I'll definitely tell you off air.
Yeah.
That was just like, mate, you fucking
yeah.
Just obliterated this whole stereotype of who you are.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to be who I'm going to be. I don't give a fuck what everybody else thinks.
Yeah, isn't it funny? Because I almost feel not robbed, but I always wanted the father when I was 18 to take me for a beer. Yeah, as well thought. That's what I've always thought about. Oh fuck, I'm never gonna be when I get 18. My dad's not gonna put his arm around me, and take me for a beer.
Yeah.
I say that, and I tried to do that with my son, and he went, "No, I'm going out." So,
Piss off, Dad.
Yeah, nice one, Dad. But sometimes I think was it better that he did that? Was it better for Mum? Was it better for us as kids?
Yeah. Who knows?
Was it better? Was it because he was suffering from mental health?
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. No one can tell me that he wasn't.
Yeah.
Fucking took his own life.
Yeah.
Yeah. He put a fucking hose in the car, man. You know what I mean? That's mental. That's mental health, no doubt. So, I just sometimes, and it's something hard that you have to grapple with, but sometimes I go, yeah, maybe that was a good thing. It fucking damaged all of us, my sisters, me, damaged all of us. But I don't know what that would have been like had he not done what he did, yeah? Particularly for my mum. So, yeah, who knows? Who knows?
I think the generational trauma that occurred, you just have to, hope to God that people in similar situations get to a point where you are in your life.
Yeah.
Where you've dealt with stuff, you've acknowledged it, you're working on yourself, you're doing all these great things, because who knows, you could have had your heart surgery and gone straight back to how you were.
So many people do.
Yeah,
So many people do.
I've met people who have done that.
So many people do.
And it's like, hang on a minute, like you just fucking had a lifesaver handed to you.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's I've been on this thing for a little while now about forgiveness of my father and accepting that he had mental health issues, and didn't have the help that we have today. It's still a stigma today, but you can imagine what it was like back then.
Oh yeah.
So I've decided to forgive my dad about everything that's happened. Some of my sisters still can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's okay. And I say to them, it's okay. You this is your path. If you can't,
it's your healing journey.
Yeah, but they're in pain. And it's hard to see them in that pain. One of my sisters particularly just gets so upset about things, and she's convinced my dad hates her or hated her, and I'm like, no, it was just we perceive things when we're younger, don't we?
Yeah,
in a certain way.
Yeah.
One of the things I remember, it was my dad going to watch Liverpool and Southampton. No, he took me to see Man United the week before, or Liverpool the week before, and the next week he was sat in the kitchen talking to everyone, talking about the game that he'd gone to, and I was devastated. I was like, "You didn't take me to the game. You didn't take me to the game." You know what I mean? And it's just those things that sit with you, that go, that you take on through your life. Yeah. So he went to jail for what he did to my mum, and it's funny. Like me and my mum laugh about it now. We go visiting him, and he was just this type of guy. We go visiting him, and like what he would say, "Don't come and visit me on this day." We do things around the prison, and my mum, smart as fuck, she went, yeah, okay. She'd go and visit him on that day. Right,
just to piss him off.
Takes me with him. Takes me with her. All right. Well, I was the youngest, so takes me with her, and she knows. She sees like this woman's name in the fucking book. And there she is waiting, and like my mum just loses the shit, like to him in the thing. And she was so smart.
Oh, hang on. Okay, yeah. I get it right. Yeah.
She was,
Yeah.
So she knew that he was like, at this day he had this lady coming.
Yeah.
And there was another time. I mean, fucking hell.
He fucking just walked into that though, didn't he? Wouldn't you just keep your mouth shut?
I mean, I told you he had mental health issues.
Yeah. What your mum was doing though was fucking smart, because she was bringing you.
Yeah.
And there was a double benefit there, because she wanted to show him that she had you, and she wanted to show you not to be like him.
Yeah. You know what? That terrified me for so many years, that I was going to be like my dad. And you know what it did? Not in a violent way, because he could be quite violent. But the womanizing side of it, I fucking hated that side of me when I was like that. Yeah, it was like it was. I hated that side because I never wanted to be like that. I always wanted to be the person who had the good like the nice family, and, the successful marriage and all that. There's reasons behind all of that, but I think that whole thing of abandonment and wanting nothing ever being good enough, was something that just sort of, I don't know, it just sort of stayed with me, and I can't, it's so lovely not to have that anymore.
what happened? What made you not have that anymore?
Getting out of a situation, I think it's the environment that I was in, it didn't help. And I was just looking for something that was more than I had. Yeah. Like now, I just don't see value in it. I just don't. I think I'm. And it's funny because I grew up with 5 sisters and a mum who I respect, and I respect women. But it's me that it was my internal demons and my internal insecurities that pushed me that way. Yeah, I just don't have those insecurities anymore. I don't have those demons anymore. I don't worry about that shit anymore. And it's like been. Look, I'm not. This has been very recent, very recent. Yeah. So I've lived most of my life like it, like looking for something that, just looking for something. Yeah. It just wasn't enough. Nothing was ever enough. Now I'm like, I want to go the other way now. Yeah, I don't want all of this stuff. I'm happy to I love living on my own. I love the solitude, and I love, just, I love it when my daughter comes down. It's amazing. All of that, but I think that it's just growth, mate. Just you start realizing again, self-awareness. You start realizing, you start going, mate, fucking wake up.
That's the key, right?
Oh, I honestly, it's the key for everyone. It's like self-awareness is where it all starts. Where it all starts, and then you've got to start questioning those things that you're doing. And like we say, we're doing it every day still.
Yeah, every day.
Every day we do it. And it's changed my life because you go from a victim to being self-aware, yeah? And they're two very different things, yeah? And people will say, and I see it, it's funny, and without being critical and judgmental or anything, but I see when people say, I don't know, I'm cool, and I go, no, you're not. You can just see it, yeah? By their language, their body language and things like that. And I only know that because I've been through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And before I wouldn't have been able to see it. I would have been in victim mode with them. And you do, and you surround yourself with those people as well. Yeah. So
'cause misery likes company.
Exactly. And the beautiful thing about this is when these things drop off and these people drop off, your life becomes so much more
peaceful.
Oh, peaceful is the word. Peaceful is the word, and you can step out of. I love being able to step out of things now. Yeah, just go, nah, I'm doing that.
Well, Simon, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, mate. Oh.
Mate, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, mate, thank you so much. It's been just speaking, and thank you for being vulnerable, mate. Thank you for opening up. It's just means so much to me as well.
It's we just need more storytelling, more conversation, more vulnerability, and being able to relate and communicate with people and realize that you're not alone. You know,
powerful.
So many things that you just said, I relate with.
Of course.
And I'm like,
of course. I feel closer to you right now.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is there's so many things that you said.
Yeah.
that were similar to me, like,
Yeah.
even down to the birthdays. My sister's July 27th. I'm August the 10th. My sister's August the 18th. My other sister's August the 20th. My other sister's August the 21st. Yeah, the other one's in September. But like, I'm like, when you're telling me this thing, I'm going, fucking hell, these guys. And they're telling me about the dad, and mate. Anyway, to be continued.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Let me just take a quick selfie.
Okay.
And then we will wrap up. Amazing.
Thanks,
well,
mate.
thank you so much
Thanks,
again.
mate. Brilliant.
I can't wait to see what's going to happen for you the rest of the year.
Yeah. Well, let's stay in touch, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll have you back on.
Yep.
Or maybe I'll help you with your podcast.
That would be great. That'd be great. I need to get it back up and running.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I've got a whole story to tell you. Don't worry.
Thanks, everyone. Catch you guys later.